Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. This is going to be an interesting one, you guys. I wish I would have had time to schedule it a little bit further out so more people had time to see it because this is going to be a wild one. I haven't really been keeping up with Teen Mom like I normally do. I've really kind of gotten more into true crime lately, and because there's been a lot going on with true crime with the Quentin Sama case and Athena Strand, it's really kept me busy lately, over in the true crime area. But, and I haven't gotten to watch Teen Mom lately either. But this happened and I had to share it. You guys know that Jaylan and Leah, um they were dating, I don't know, for like a year, and he proposed. He actually proposed to her on their 1 year anniversary. So they made their relationship official in Costa Rica. So the next year, around the same time, their 1 year anniversary was to roll around. They went back to Costa Rica and he proposed to Leah. So we're seeing that on the show recently. Also, it came out that not long after he proposed, that he bought them a house together. And before the show even aired, they made all these posts about him buying them a home. They had these photos out in front of the home, in front of this tree, our house. They even put out a short clip of them bringing the girls to the house, um, where they're riding to the house and they're like, "We have a surprise for y'all." And it was this big thing made. This big deal was made on social media and through media outlets about them buying this house, or him buying them a house, right? And then come to find out, just a few weeks after that, we find out that she's not even on the deed. And we were like, wait, what? We also found out that the money that was used to either pay closing costs, or because a lot of people assume that he got the house through his like VA. Um, a lot of people assume that that's how he got the house, through like a VA loan. So when you get a house through a VA loan, I don't think you really have to pay like a closing cost, but you do have to pay um like fees and stuff. So Leah was the one that paid the fees, right? She paid all the fees, and thinking that her name was on this house. And if you watch the show, from my understanding, what was shown on the show was her like signing a deed, or him presenting her with some sort of deed. And she was super happy. She thought her name was on this home that she just put a bunch of money up for, right? Now, come to find out, you guys, she is calling him out to say that it was fake. Isn't that fraud, faking mortgage, official mortgage documents like that? I mean, I would think so. I would definitely think that it would be against the law, or something, right? I mean, especially he's in the military. I mean, I would think that he could potentially get in some sort of trouble. I'm going to read this really quickly. This is from the Ashley. And then we're going to read the tweets. I'll actually show you guys the tweets. It says, after weeks of silence from both Leah Messer and Jaylan Mobley, the formerly engaged Teen Mom couple, they're going at it on social media, Twitter, with accusations of lying, creating fake housing documents, and other stuff. Theft by deception. I mean, yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah, theft by deception, sure. So as has previously been reported, they ended their relationship just months after getting engaged. I think it was like 2 months after getting engaged, they ended their relationship. It was later revealed that during their split, Jalen had Leah sign an NDA saying that she would not disclose the reason for the breakup, and if she would sign the NDA stating that she would not disclose the reason for the breakup, that she would get to stay in the house. That's kind of blackmail to me, right? Don't you think? Don't you guys think that this is blackmail? Keep in mind, her money paid all the fees for the home, for them to get the home. That was her money. This is a $500,000 home, so I would assume they paid a couple thousand minimum for fees and everything, right? I mean, I don't know for sure. We don't know for sure what kind of loan they got, but I mean, at least $2,000 that was her money that was put down, our fees that was paid. Her money paid this, right? Um, she moved her daughters into this home, and they've gotten comfortable here in this home. And now she finds out, allegedly, that he cheated. That's the word on the streets. That's what's been put out there. That she caught him cheating, and that it wasn't just a one time thing. That's what the rumors are for why they break up. She caught him cheating. And it was like, don't tell why we break up, never go public with this. If you sign this saying that you'll never tell, you can have the house. I don't know. I really feel like that's blackmail. I mean, also, why does he care if she tells? If he cheated, why does he cares? You want to know why? His image. He cares so much about his image that he does not want to be made to look bad, but in turn, it's making him look worse. Like, who makes their ex fiance with three children sign an NDA saying that she could never tell what happened in the relationship, what went wrong, which is something that could be like therapeutic for her to talk about one day. About this is what happened. I mean, I thought that he was perfect and he cheated on me. But she's not allowed to do that now, or she has to worry about getting kicked out of the house. So I don't think they had to pay a down payment. From my understanding, they say that it was a VA loan through him being in the service, but still fees would have had to be paid for a VA loan. And I really think that with a VA loan, you just don't have to pay as big of a down payment. I think. I don't know. Me and Sean's never looked into it, but I just think that's really crappy to say, listen, this is your life. This is your story. You had agreed to get married, have another child, at least one. You moved into this home with your children, and now you can't say what went wrong, or you'll lose your house. The house that you paid money for. It's kind of BS in my opinion, if you ask me, and it paints him out to be even worse person than I would think that he was if I just would have found out that he cheated. Like, yes, if it would have came out that he cheated, you're a terrible person. But to find out that he made her sign an NDA saying that she can't tell what happened, mm, we still need to try and use my husband's VA first time home buyer's loan. I'm surprised the network didn't make him sign an NDA, right? So, all right. So she's not allowed to say why they broke up. Anyway, after Tuesday night's episode of Teen Mom, the next chapter, it showed Jaylan proposing to Leah, and her later becoming upset when Jaylan told her that he asked Leah's stepdad, Lee, for his blessing to marry Leah. Now, we're going to get to the mortgage deed situation in a minute. This is one issue that they had on the episode. So, Leah and Jaylan apparently already kind of discussed it, that if he was going to ask her to marry him in the future, that the only people that he would need to ask would be the girls. That he wouldn't need to ask Lee or her mom or anybody else, only the girls, right? And that was established. It was something that was talked about. So when she found out that he did go ask Lee anyways, from my understanding, it bothered her. So Jaylan was also shown presenting Leah with a document that supposedly showed that Leah's name had been added to their deed to their new home. Leah put Jaylan on blast for both things, which later erupted into a full-on social media squabble between Leah and Jaylan. Jaylan responded and suggested that Leah could be opening herself up for a defamation lawsuit if she doesn't stop. So we're going to go over everything that says. So, um, Leah did not break the NDA that she signed. She didn't call Jaylan out for why they broke up. However, she did accuse him of creating fake legal documents to present with her on the show for publicity. She said, let's see. I'm going to share a screen with you guys so you guys can see this. All right, you guys. All right, let's see. All right, 22 hours ago, she said, this doesn't have anything to do with why we broke up, but the deed scene was BS as well. He made up a fake document to get my real on camera happy reaction and had me believing I was on the deed until we got home and I learned otherwise. What? Like, what do you say? What do you say when you get home and be like, that was just for the show? That was just for the show. I'm like, that was improv. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just come up with that earlier. Like, I print out this fake deed and everything and then show you on the show just so we'd have like a good storyline. What? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that? Let's read some of the comments. This isn't even all. This isn't even all. Let's read some of the comments. Just read his tweets. No, I don't know what to believe. I think MTV got y'all's relationship. I did get a weird vibe from him, but he was doing the most for you and the girls, and y'all seemed happy. The girls loved him, and the kids are good readers. Praying for both of you guys. Wait, is this Mackenzie? Like no, that's not. Okay, that's not the legit Mackenzie. You've seen maybe an hour of their lives together in the span of a few months. Unless you're actually there, what you know in a speck of the universe. I don't know. Okay. Y'all need to keep these relationships off cameras unless you've been together a few years. Just giving them clout they're looking for. I do agree with that one. Like, you know what? Be married to this dude before you bring him on camera, okay? That way you can, like, 3 years into it, finally get married. Okay, we'll introduce you to the cameras. Leah, honest question. I work in lending. Did you not realize you have to sign the deed at closing in order to even be on the deed? He can't just put your name on the title without you signing. How did this happen? So that's what someone that works in lending had to say. Now, this person underneath it says that isn't true in every state. Not positive how it works there. I know here I'm on the deed to our home without even being on the loan. I was auto added to the deed because we are legally married and in this state, regardless if on mortgage, spouse is on deed as it's shared property. But okay, that doesn't make sense either. I mean, she's saying spouse. Leah and Jalen were not married. So I don't think anywhere Leah could be added to it without her being there. I mean, yes, like I guess if you're married, she's automatically on it or because it's shared property, but they weren't married yet. If she wasn't at closing, she should have known. That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking, like, anywhere you buy anything, to be on the title or the deed, you have to be there to sign the paperwork, to be on the contract. Like, you know what I'm saying? Leah is saying he did this. Leah said this. Leah was the one that tweeted this. Leah said that on camera, he presented her with a deed that had her name on it. She believed it. She thought it was real. When they got home, she found out it was not real. So this comment here, like her saying, like, this isn't true in every state, not positive how it works there. I know here I'm on the deed to our home without even being on the loan. I was auto added to the deed because we were legally married. Yeah, but that's different because guess what? They're not legally married, so different scenario. I want to really read those. Odd. I'm on the title to our home, but not on the loan at all. I still had to sign stuff at the lending office at closing, and we are legally married. I used to flip houses, and people truly don't know what goes into buying a house. It happens a lot. She was probably overtaken with excitement and joy to realize what was happening at the moment. Sorry, but in MI, the only signatures on the deed belongs to the seller conveying title. How do you go on a deed without signing? Isn't there tax implications? You are liable for taxes equally, so you can just put someone on the deed without them. Literally, you are making them liable for taxes without their consent. You can't put someone on the deed without them signing. That's why I'm confused on how she thought she was on the deed without signing anything at the closing table. I thought so too. Even if you're not on the financing, the deed still comes with responsibilities. It's ownership after all. I didn't understand how you phone in a request to put a person's name on a legal document without their signature. She wasn't on it because she owed back taxes. She knew what she was doing, just easier to blame everyone else for her bad decision, like always. Leah, whose fault is it that your taxes didn't get paid? Wow, Jenny, that's kind of rude. You only need to do a quick claim deed if you're married and she isn't going to be on the title, or if she was on the loan. You can't QCD someone off of a property before they even own it. Didn't he surprise her with the house? So if he did that, then she wouldn't even be no, she wouldn't even known and didn't sign anything. Oh my God, Leah, I think we all knew he was in it for clout, but I never would have imagined the extent of you going all behind the scenes. I'm so glad you got out of there. Trust me, my mom passed in February 2008. Okay, that was not relevant. Um, This person said, well, it definitely would have something to do with it if it were me. Same. If you made me think that I was on the deed to a home and then I found out later you legit lied, it would absolutely have something to do with it. Isn't Leah a real estate agent? I'm confused because he talked about her selling her first house. So, I mean, I don't know. I figured the reason for the breakup had to do with you overreacting about him asking your stepdad for your hand in marriage. He didn't look pleased with how unhappy you were during that special moment. The reason she was unhappy is because it was discussed. He was told not to ask her stepdad. I like this one. In the words of Garth Brooks, some of God's greatest some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Absolutely. Sorry you have to deal with people like that. I can only imagine that it cannot be easy. You deserve better. Let me see. If that didn't cause your breakup, then what the heck did he do? Because that's bad already. So tell us, was the ring real or was it fake too? All right. Glad you saw it now before you got married and are pregnant. Photo shoot or it didn't happen. All right. So that's that. Then she said, speak your mind even if your voice shakes. Notice how she has her comment section on. Like she don't have her comment section turned off. Let's go see what Mr. Mobley has to say. All right, let's go down. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see. All right, so this is where he first starts responding. So I've been doing everything I can as a man to move forward and focus on myself so that I can be a better man at the end of the day. I'm not trying to go after nobody or hurt no one. Comment section turned off. I did add you to the deed. You know that. When we got back, they called and told me why you could not be added to the deed. They keep call records. The bank. Do you guys think? I mean, like legit call records. Like, Do you think you could call your bank and say, "Hey, can you pull your call records from like such and such date when we were like working on like the home loan and the deed, and you guys called me back to say X, Y, Z? Can you pull that record?" I don't know. Yeah, the VA only covers military members, not a girlfriend. If she was his wife, she has a leg to stand on. If he wants to give her her house, he'll still be responsible for it. So yeah, how did you just add her to the deed without her? He says we had the conversation together, and it had not yet been recorded for the reason why you couldn't be added because it would go into a lien. But they didn't know that when I initially went there to add you and get a hard copy to show you because I wanted something else to gift you, that we were going to be in it together. It still had to be recorded, and that's where they see personal. That's what they what? And that's where they see personal. I don't know. Also, she doesn't have to be present for me to add her to the deed as the primary holder. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they document calls. Like, I'm sure they have a call record. But I don't know if I could call my bank right now. Or like when I purchased my car. You know, when I'm like here waiting for them to call me back to give me all the information about the car. I don't know if I could call back and be like, so can you pull your call record from such and such date? Because they might would be like, no. I mean, everybody has a call record. I have a call record. Just go to AT&T and get detailed billing. But am I going to pull it just for any Joe Blow? No. You know, I'm not going to do that. Um, so he says, I just want everyone to know that I'm in a place where I don't consider myself a perfect man. And I know I got work to do, and that's okay. But I never did that to you. I just don't know how. I, I mean, it may be different in every state, but she wasn't even his wife. Like, I could understand if they were married, maybe he could have potentially added her to the deed without her. But like someone else said, it comes with responsibilities. Like, you got to pay your taxes on it and everything. How can you just sign that for someone else? Call records aren't stored local. They are sent somewhere else to store them. Sounds like gaslighting at its finest. Yeah. I encourage you to call the attorney and ask them everything Jaylan Mobley tried to do to get you on that deed. Okay, but he may have tried to do everything. He may have tried to talk to them like, hey, I really want to get her on the deed. Can you try this, try that? Maybe that's possible. I mean, maybe that happened. Maybe he tried to get her on the deed. But what we're saying is, did you actually get her on the deed for a short period, get a hard copy of it, go home and show her, and then realize, oh, no, never mind? Because I want to know, who can she call to find out if she was ever on the deed long enough for them to get a hard copy showing that she was on the deed. If I was her, I'd call and find that out. Like, hey, did you guys give Jaylan Mobley a copy of a deed with my name on it at any point in time and then realize that I couldn't be on it because of my tax problems? Because him saying, call the lawyer and they'll tell you that I tried everything is not the same thing as you actually getting her on there and getting a copy of it that you went home and showed her. He said, also, me asking Lee for his blessing happened twice, which is even worse because she told him, you don't have to ask my dad, my mom, my stepdad, no one. If you ever want to propose to me, ask the girls. They're the only people that I feel like you need to ask. So now he's saying, I didn't do it once, I did it twice. So once in private on a golf course with nobody prior to her telling me she didn't want his blessing. And once pressed by MTV. But I didn't do it for a publicity stunt. Well, if you were pressed by MTV, you should have told MTV. Listen, she doesn't want me asking Lee. She's already told me that. I don't want to upset her. Well, I would take her to him. I would say, okay, Jaylan, you want to prove that that's not how it happened? Let's go to the bank. Give me the deed. Give me the copy of the deed. Let's go in there. I want to show them. Did you guys ever give this to Jaylan? This is a copy of me on the deed. Is this real? You can look up info at Register of Deeds about houses, names on it, etc. That's the thing, is like right after it came out that they purchased that house, it was looked up like right afterwards. As soon as news broke that they bought this house, or this house was this house was purchased, people started looking it up, and that's how it was discovered publicly that she was not on the deed. They asked me during dinner because they knew the stir it would cause. Also, I apologized about that on camera and said I was wrong. So why the need to try to humiliate someone who said he was wrong and understands his mistakes? And we both agreed that we both overreacted. I'm finding happiness in moving forward towards a peaceful life completely. Okay, while on camera, I did make it seem like it was final because it was final to me. I don't make the final decision, as the attorney is who is responsible for recording the deed. That's not my fault. Again, she doesn't have to be present for me to add her. Am I wrong for trying? If she said okay, then she would have been on it. They told me they would not add her to the deed due to the liability and the risk. So they're not even saying that it was due to the tax situation, or maybe it did revert back to that. I don't know. He just don't want to say that, like liability, risk. That still didn't stop me from trying to figure it out, but I'm lying about that. I tried to do it, and they told me once we got back. They have proof, and I only filmed with her stepdad once. No MTV was at the golf course, and I didn't consider myself right for asking him on camera. But I've said that on camera as well, and definitely not trying to be in another episode. You even said yourself that you overreacted, but now it's completely my fault for trying to do something positive. I take full accountability for the camera scene with him. I've said that. So, I don't know if she's trying to throw it back to his fault, but I think they're reliving this. She's reliving this. Probably watching it again, knowing now what she knows, or knowing now what she didn't know then. Like, okay, not only was he told not to ask Lee, but he did. And you're watching this play out on TV, and you're going back to all the things that he's did. And, I think it's just showing her even more like, wow, he was such a snake. Because word is, she caught him cheating on her. And it wasn't just once, it was multiple times. Now, these are my opinions, and this is what I've heard um, through different sources, reading different things that's been stated. Do your own research, form your own conclusion. But that's what has been stated is that he cheated on her, and she caught him more than once. So now replaying this back and watching this, her seeing it, of course she's going to comment on it, and people are asking her too. Like, so she has the right to comment on it. It doesn't mean that you have to feel like, well, I already apologized, and now here you are overreacting. I mean, she's watching this all over again. Play out at a time in her life when you guys are not even together anymore because of your shadiness. She needs to learn how to read. Yeah, yeah. I think they're both at fault trying to throw each other under the bus. Seems like it. He's in office in the military. It might affect his morality clause. Yeah, I don't know. There are bank laws, the government regulates the rules, and they can't be changed. A free way to help this channel. Absolutely. A free way to help this channel is hit that like button, you guys. Um, Yeah. I've been married for 27 years and my husband had to give written consent for everything. Not even verbal because that isn't proof enough. I mean, I've had times with that. When Sean was deployed, I mean, I was his what do you call it where like I can do anything in his name? I don't even remember what it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Where did we miss the spot where he said you're trying to open your Oh, yep, we missed that. We missed that. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. So 8 hours ago, he says, my vision is so beyond any of this. It's beyond social media. It's beyond being on TV. It's beyond crap that ain't promised. I'm focused on my future and how I can show up in my life 100%. I know my worth, and sometimes this is what irritates me. I know my worth, and sometimes that scares people when they know the potential you have. Yes, yes, I was his power of attorney. Yes. This right here really ticks me off at him. Because I'm like, dude, you made the mistake. You messed your relationship up with Leah. And now you're basically trying to act like because you're so grand that it scared her away. Like sometimes when people know your worth and the potential you have, it scares them. No, I think Leah was a-okay with what she thought you was. But then she sees that she thought that you were a snake in the grass. You know, like I know my worth. And sometimes that scares people when they know the potential you have. The potential that you had to cheat on her, to scam her, is that the potential that we're talking about here? 8 hours ago, I'm more hungry than ever. And I'm chilling out with fam and friends, having a great time. Telling the world I created a fake legal document when it can be proved by the legal system that it wasn't is defamation of character at its highest. Notice he still doesn't have his comment section on where anybody can comment. At least with Leah, which is why I'm also more inclined to believe her. At least with Leah, you can comment. She's not scared of the comments. You know what I'm saying? And telling the world, she's not telling the whole world. She's telling her few million of followers. And he says when it can be proved by the legal system. I think you're the one that has to prove that, Jalen. You and your attorney would have to prove that it wasn't fake, right? Or did she prove that it was fake? Either way, I mean, really, it's not going to hurt you. It's not one of those terrible atrocities that would, constitute defamation per se. Defamation per se. It's not costing you no money. You're not losing your job. It's not. No, you don't have a case here. I mean, one little thing. He's scared of her fans. I knew he was sketchy from jump. Classic F boy. That's the way that it seems. So that's wild. That he literally is now almost threatening like a lawsuit. Like, I mean, I don't know. Leah could probably sue you for something. I mean, you literally, y'all, he had this girl sign an NDA when she was like heartbroken, devastated, in a place to where, like, oh my God, do I just sign this daggum thing so me and my family, we don't have to be like uprooted again to go back to a different house? Like, we've already got used to this here. So now I can't share, what everybody likes to say, I can't share my truth, about what's going on with me. I always have to keep quiet. Is there a time frame on this NDA? Does she have to keep quiet for 5 years? Is it for the rest of her life? That's not really fair. in order for her to keep the house. You know, like that's not really fair. Let's see. See if there's anything else. So yeah, Leah owes more than $450,000 in state and federal taxes, which affected her ability to be on the house. Um, all them trips to Costa Rica, girl. Put them off for a couple of years. Pay them taxes. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, Leah did respond to Jalen's tweets with a post on Instagram, calling Jalen out for pretending. Oh, that's already happened. You already talked about that. Um, yeah. Okay. Here she says. This is what she said on Instagram about it. This is what she said on the gram about it. So yes, he said he was trying to get me on the deed after we made it back home from Costa Rica. But when we were there, he made it seem on camera as though it was already complete and done. I take full responsibility for believing that because I even asked, don't I have to be present? And he said no because he was the sole owner. It's the lying. Why even make it part of filming? Why not say, hey, I'm trying to get your name on the deed instead? Why even film with my dad? Not once, but twice when you asked me prior to doing it a second time. Was the first yes not good enough? Or did you just want to get in another episode? You didn't care to tell MTV no on specific scenes you didn't want to film. So then pressing you again, BS. Make it make sense. It's all BS. But moving along now. So she's saying here, like, yeah, you tried to get me on the deed later on after we got back from Costa Rica, but it's when we were in Costa Rica that you said that I was already on the deed. And then she said he's told MTV no about other things, so why not tell MTV no about this thing? And where's the thing about? Oh, here's the document. I guess that's Leah looking at the um the deed. Kathy says the house sold for $515,000, and he financed $515,000 on 3320 VA loan. Public info. No, she's paying the mortgage. She's paying the mortgage. Oh, I could tell you that I like stopped following him after when all this happened. Where is the? There was also the one where she talked about asking Lee. She talked about that on Instagram as well. Now after that, Leah's sister Victoria and her friend Kylie jumped in the conversation to defend Leah. Both seemed to imply that the rumors that circulated earlier about the relationship ending due to Jalen's alleged cheating are true. Kylie wrote to Victoria in the comment section of an Instagram post regarding Leah and Jalen's situation. Kylie wrote, wish he'd just man up and tell everyone what happened. Victoria told one person on the thread who criticized her, first of all, I'm not a critic, I'm a truthful a-hole. To be honest, I'm sick of my sister getting bashed and crap talked, when in reality, she had every reason to leave him. She has been honest, he has not. He has chosen to play the victim card and try to manipulate the internet just as much as he does the people physically around him. Physically around him. The truth behind the breakup should really be told by Jalen, but considering what lies behind the truth, that will probably never happen. And honestly, that's sad. She continues saying, in time, people will learn the real truth behind Leah and Jalen's breakup. The truth always comes to the surface. So, word on the streets is he cheated. Hey, Emily. What is stupid to me is what is stupid to me, if she was put on the deed, he wouldn't be the sole owner. If she only glanced at the deed and was overwhelmed, she might not have time to think it through. The cameras were in her face, for goodness sake. Great news, though. If she isn't on the deed, she can move out. He's on the hook for the payment. She can move out and go out like with only the money she put in it. Yeah. Yeah, the agreement was if she signs the NDA saying that she'll never speak about what he did and why they broke up, she can stay in the house, but she has to make the payments. Let him try. MTV has money and lawyers. He doesn't want those skeletons coming out. Yeah, he probably doesn't. I feel like he probably hasn't scammed just Leah. If he's a scammer, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? If he's allegedly a scammer, this probably ain't his first victim. But it's pretty wild. I was like, holy crap. Did he really do that? It makes me want to go catch up on the episodes. This is for us. That's what Jaylan told her. This is for us. What is she said something about, them being in it together just solidified their relationship. Like having her name on the deed. How strong they were. They were in it together. She now calls it a publicity stunt. But anyway, you guys, what y'all's thoughts? We're going to hang around and chat for a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and close this one out. Why on earth would she pay a house that she doesn't own? Sounds pretty dumb. At the end, when it's paid off, he's supposed to sign it over to her. That's a part of the agreement. I'll talk about last night's Siesta Key. Oh, I didn't even watch Siesta Key. So yeah, she can't talk about why they broke up. She gets to stay in the house. She makes the payments. At the when it's paid off, he'll sign it into her name. Or actually no. I think it's in 2 years. If she hasn't said anything, he'll sign it into her name. I think that's what I first originally heard. I haven't watched in years, but it's one of those things I could probably pick up and know exactly what's going on. Same drama 5 years later, still exactly. What a mess. What a mess. What would you guys do? It's a big, nice house. I mean, pretty big house. Let me see if I can find the pictures that were on the internet. Pretty big house. Would you guys stay or just leave? Like, be done with it. I mean, as long as she's in the house, unfortunately, she's linked to him. You know what I'm saying? She's always kind of got. She's gonna pay the house off, and he's gonna kick her out. All right, so here's the house. Oh nope, let's turn that down. There's music. I know it's got like a sauna. It's really nice. All right, never mind. I think it's just I don't. I wanted to see like all the inside pictures. A whole lot of fakery. All right, let me see if we can find pictures down here. Ooh, them shorts be tight. Where's more pictures? More pictures. Leah's so pretty. Isn't she so pretty? I think she's really pretty. Leah gets better with age. Like she's getting better with age. It's a beautiful home. Yeah, she sold her old house. I'm really not sure. I'm not. I don't know that. Yeah, one of her daughters look just like her, and her other daughter looks like her mom. Yeah, his style is a little short. His style is a little short and tight, but some people likes it like that. To me, it's sad for the girl. She needs a better man better. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just feel like her and Jeremy have really good chemistry, but Jeremy's allegedly a cheater, so. But Leah is too sometimes. So, maybe she just get with Jeremy. Maybe she and Jeremy should get together and they should have an open relationship. That way, if she want to check on Robbie, she can. And if he want to check on the producer, he can. I think he's battling for the other team, and I think there's anything wrong with that. I agree. Not that anything is wrong with that. A lot of people say that. I don't know. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. I'll probably come back to do at least one more today. We're leaving in the morning, headed to New Orleans for the championship football game for you. So you guys, cross your fingers for us. Safe travels and all of that, and for our team, our boys went. Our boys have went to state championship a few years. They won a couple times, but last year they didn't win. This is my son's second year going, and last year they lost. So keeping my fingers crossed that they win this year. I might share some, I don't know, maybe in Discord, some stuff from us there. Um, but I'm super excited. So you guys keep us in your prayers that our boys win this one because it's going to be so exciting. Our boys left out this morning. We went and dropped Caden off at like 7. Well, Sean did, and then we came back at 8 to watch them leave. And they're in these big fancy buses with the TVs in them. And when we were walking to hurry up and get in line to see them off, Caden took a picture of me and Sean and Kennedy walking, and he sends it to me. He's like, "I see y'all." But the windows were so dark we couldn't really see inside, and they're being escorted by sheriff. So they got police escorting them. They got motorcycles escorting them, and they literally like the whole town basically sends them off. So people are waiting outside their houses, waving. Um, a bunch of adults are outside the school, sending them off, and they went up around the elementary part of the school. All the elementary kids were outside waving them off and made signs, and then they went around to the junior high. Same thing. The junior high was waving them off and had signs. Sean has literally picked up smoking lately, and he just opened my door with a stinking cigarette, and now I'm gonna. Anyways, so it's really cool to see everybody wave the kids off. And my son Dakota came home today, and he said, "Is Caden a famous football player?" because it's a big thing. It's super cool to see the whole town really send them off the way that they do. The whole school does. Everybody's there. They get special treatment, and it's just really cool. So Coco came home today, wanting to know if his brother is a famous football player. So I said, yes, of course he is. But anyways, you guys, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that he really did fake a document? Or do you guys think that he's telling the truth, that he tried, he had her on it for a minute, but then they changed it? You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section and let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.